So we have now this film that was kindly donated to the Society by Tom Ryan, and we start in Kent Station with locomotive B204. And it's shunting liner traffic at the old Water Street goods depot, opposite the locomotive shed at Kent Station. These were taken around 1975, just before North Esk Terminus, the container terminal there, was opened. So you can see Bell traffic, which became the main customer at North Esk, but it was being handled here just initially at Water Street. The B&I traffic was also handled at this depot. You can see a B&I container on the left there. Tom Ryan, he did an excellent job just reporting all the different CIE personnel working in the depot. See, it was a very cramped site, so that's why they were very keen on opening North Esk so they wouldn't have to deal with these constrained spaces at Water Street. That's 2 GM diesels working up a liner train out of. That's the refrigerated Bell containers. They were the white ones. During this time, mostly they were all 20-foot containers on four-wheel flat wagons. We have 2 GMs here, and you'll see the contrasting liveries of the original black and tan livery with Super Train livery, B185 and B159. So we move to North Esk, and we have 31. Arriving light engine into the yard. This was taken, I think, on the 5th of May 1975, on the first day of operation at the North Esk terminal, which is located between Dunkettle and North Esk gates, which would have been just to the east of just to the west of these shops. That was an up passenger working from Cove. As mentioned, most of the container traffic was the smaller 20-foot containers. And there's the up goods working from Youghal, passing on the main line. As you can see, some of the loop sidings, they were still being assembled even at this time. I believe this was the first working of a Bell liner train into North Esk, again consisting of Bell containers, the different the normal container and the refrigerated types. And in the foreground you can see the run rail or the 30-ton gantry. There will be up to 9 trains using North Esk at its peak. That's the 30-ton gantry. You can see, as I say, some of the sidings on the left are still under construction. That's one of the, I think, the original Bell livery containers. They're originally grey, just like that. You don't see too many shots of them. Original condition. And there's the man himself, Joe St. Ledger. So very appropriately we see a shot of him. Joe with, I think, at least 3 cameras around his neck. One for shooting, definitely at least 2 of them were shooting for slide and negative. And he also had a cine camera with him, of course, as well. That's B169 running round the tray. A lot of times they use just the mainline tracks to run around. And that's North-esque Gates that I mentioned earlier. So that's just to the west of the yard. That's a passenger working heading for Cove. And then we move to Dublin Cork Main Line, and this is a single 121 class with Mark II stop, passing Rathpeacon sides, so between Cork and Malin. This operation was known as the run of goods, where goods stock was taken up in sections to Rathpeacon to be marshalled into longer train sets for onward destinations. Of course, there is a weight load restriction for trains climbing out of Cork up through the tunnel through Kilbarry, so that's why the trains had to be worked in sections to Rathpeacon. A southbound super train set. Here we see some sundries vans being dropped off in the sidings at Rathpeacon. Another super train set. It was all taken around 1973-74. The 167 with a bulk cement train coming up from Cork. That's the tan colour cement bubbles. Train arriving in from Dublin at Kent Station, coming out of the tunnel. The famous Cork Dry Gin advertisement that was sat above the old Cork and Youghal railway terminus that I mentioned at Summerhill. It's V128 and another cement working consisting of the wheel bubbles. And now we have 055 doing the runs of goods working. So very similar. So Tom Ryan joined the crew in the cab to travel up to Rathpeacon. Of course, 055, that's the engine that is now preserved at Sean Brown's Hell's Kitchen in Castlereagh. That's just about to approach the tunnel in north end of Kent Station, and we come out at Kilbarry. That's the sidings that were used at Kilbarry for scrap. That's Kilbarry signal cabin. passing over either Monard or Kilmac viaduct. That's the distance signal for Rathpeacon. You can see a good view of the sidings. And Rathpeacon signal cabin, which was still in use until about 1988, 1989, when CTC signaling was extended from Cork. You can see there's one of the newer bogie flat container flat wagons behind 055 with a 40-foot container. And included in the formation is one of the distinctive, a set of the distinctive Burma oil tanks in their rather pleasing white and red livery. See, the brake van is off hooked, goes into the free wheels, into the siding. There's wagons of scrap. I think these came up from Cove. There's the Burma oil tanks. It's fair to say we'd all love to see a model of those on oil tanks. The Burma oil traffic that ran from Tivoli, I think the destination was nearly always Limerick, where there is a Burma oil depot located opposite Limerick shed, locomotive shed. And there's the bogie flat wagon that I mentioned. As we started to get more the 40-foot containers, the larger ones. The old 55 is not too long. We freshly repainted it the CIE Super Train livery. It looks great in the shots that Tom Ryan captured. Down passenger working, heading towards Cork. Consisting mainly of Craven carriages. So with the work done, 055 collects the 20-ton brake van to head back down to Kent Station. And Tom Ryan tells me that this particular working could happen up to 3 or 4 times a day, working up good stop up to the sidings at Rathpeacon. We're heading back now towards Cork. Cork City and the approach to Kilbarry. Entering the tunnel. Swinging round to Gusloop, just outside the train shed. There's Cork signal cabin, and that brings us to the close of tonight's film show. So thanks very much to Tom Ryan, firstly for that film, to Joe St. Ledger and Tom Dowland and Tony Price for recording all those wonderful scenes. And thank you all for attending online tonight and here in person. Thank you.